All right. So what's life been like in the bubble?
It's not that bad, actually. It's not that bad. I mean, I'm in Orlando, so it's not snowing here. It's nice weather. You wake up, eat your breakfast, go to your practice, play your games, whatever it is, watch your film, work on your body. Like it's not a bad environment to be in.
Now, it wasn't that long ago you had your first NBA bucket for the Wizards. I know your story. You and I have talked for many years, and I'm so thrilled for you and all the success that you're having. You know that. So I'm just curious, that moment when that bucket went down, what was that like for you?
Honestly, during the bucket, it feels like a normal, which is the crazy part. It feels like a normal, like me playing basketball. This is what I do. I've been doing this my whole life. It wasn't until after the game, like the night of, I was like, oh, like I really just scored. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I really just scored in the NBA. Like I've been dreaming about that for as long as I can remember. So like it hit you way after the fact. Like while you're playing, it's like, you know what I mean? I do this every day. This is what I do. Of course I'm supposed to hit that bucket. And then after the game, you like, oh, like I just scored an actual NBA bucket. Like that's gonna be in there, like as statistics. So that's crazy. It's the crazy thought.
So what kind of reaction did you get from maybe the Michigan State staff, Coach Izzo, any other former teammates?
Oh, I mean, everybody was just excited for me. Like I said, it blew up all over the place. It's a lot of people that's kind of rolling with me, that supported me, that's rooting for me. You know what I'm saying? I can feel all that love. I can feel all that. So a lot of people, congratulated me, reached out to me. You know what I'm saying? First of many, all those type of things like that. So it was a cool moment.
So we know at the collegiate level, playing during this pandemic, a lot of restrictions. Obviously, there's been pauses all over the country. What's it been like for you as a professional? Not in the previous bubble. I know you're in a bubble now in Orlando, but when you were with the Wizards.
This is my first time. So, everything I'm doing is kind of just like, they tell me stories about what it used to be and how it used to be and how things are so much different. But everything I'm doing right now is my first time. So I don't know any better. Like I don't really know what's the difference or how much better or how much worse it could be. So I'm just figuring things out on the fly.
All right. So this team, they have struggled. Obviously they were a little better early. They went through a pause. They've had 2 games they've lost by 30, and then they've had some good moments. From your vantage point, what's your analysis?
I think they're just struggling to find that rhythm together. You know what I'm saying? I think that they were rolling earlier, had some really good signs, then it kind of hit a halt. And it's kind of it's hard to, like I said, to put a team together, especially put a team together at Michigan State where, winning is almost like, that's just if you're not winning, like there's a major crisis problem. So at a place like that, it's hard to kind of balance all that and without having a rhythm, without having a flow of the season and learn all those things, it can be tough. So, you know what I mean? It's just one of those things. It's going to be a bump in the road that you got to kind of fight through. You got to practice through. You got to work together. You got to stick together through it all. You know what I mean? Those things like that can turn around at any moment.
How is Coach Izzo wired, though, to handle this and not get too down, not pound guys into the floor, that to just sort of ride this to try to still build them up for this stretch run?
I mean, he's just one of the best in the business. You know what I mean? This is not the first time I think Coach had a team that weren't as talented or, things like that. Like he is who he is for a reason. You know what I'm saying? That's building winning teams. That's building a winning program. And if anybody can do it, you know what I mean? I feel like Coach Izzo can do it. So, and he knows what's too much. How much his guys can handle. He knows when they're stretching it too far and all those type of things. And he's putting it all together.
Why do players love playing for him and continue to come back to Michigan State, to where you guys have your own locker room at the Breslin Center? Now you can go from that current player locker room to now that former player locker room just down the hall.
It's the culture there. It's the culture there. It's just the extreme brotherhood. Those are guys that you go to war with every single day. You know what I'm saying? You battle with somebody enough times, like you learn to appreciate them. You learn to, you know what I'm saying, to go through that, to win at that high level, to win consistently like that. It's not easy. You know what I mean? And like the outside world may not understand it because they're not in it, but the people inside, like you recognize what your brother is going through. You recognize what the person who next to you is going through. And you recognize what you learned from playing there at a program like that. You know what I mean? So it's easy to go back because you owe so much to the program. You owe so much to what Michigan State mean to you. That's easy to go back and try to help the young guys, or come back and just see where you used to play at and see the things that you accomplished, the banners, the rings, like all that stuff you get to come back and see. And he was like, I had a part in that. So, that type of culture right there is kind of unmatched.
The Big Ten this year, really the last 2 years, and as you know, it would have probably gotten anywhere from 10 to 11 teams last year. Same thing could happen this year. How would you describe what this run has been like for the Big Ten?
I think we established ourselves as one of the best conferences. You know what I mean? You can't deny the work. You can't deny the numbers. Every year, we send, especially these past whatever years, we sent 8+ teams to the tournament. You know what I mean? And not a lot of conferences do that. So there's a credit to the talent in the conference, the coaches, the playing style, playing against big teams, playing big games, all those type of things where it's getting a lot more competitive. So to be able to send that many teams to the tournament is impressive. And, you should be able to put the Big Ten up there as one of the top conferences.
Cassius, you weren't able to play in the NCAA tournament last year. No one was. How would you describe that sort of empty feeling?
It's tough. It's tough. It's always going to be a what could have been. It's always going to be you want that last go around, that last chance to go out there and leave it out with a bang. You want all those things, but can't get anything back that hadn't happened. It hurts for a while, but eventually you got to let it go. It's always going to be a what if. So it's nothing we can do about it now.
So I got to ask you this, you're playing for the Wizards before you were in the bubble. And to me, my lasting memory of Cassius Winston in Michigan State is going to be that year before. I was there courtside. You knock off Zion and Duke in the Elite Eight to get to the Final Four. Yes, there was a whole nother year after that, but that memory in that building where you're still playing and will play at some point later this season, hopefully, what kind of emotions rush back through you when you walk back into that building?
Oh, man, it's just exciting. It's exciting. It's exciting to see that how far you can take something. You know what I'm saying? Exciting to see that, I started work my way all the way to that point where I was able to have that kind of moment, and exciting to be there and maybe start back over and reach my way to a bigger moment. You know what I mean? So it's every time I go in there, it's another opportunity that I'm still out here. I'm still playing. I still got a chance to get better, and I still got a chance to do what I love. And, hopefully, eventually we can talk about stories about a much bigger moment one day. So I'm just going to keep working and trying to keep better, keep getting better.
So that's me from afar. I mean, am I right that that's one of your favorite moments, that game?
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely up there as one of my best college moments. That's unmatched. You know what I mean? Making the Final Four, beating the best team in the country, like that's just stuff you can't really, you can't really write out. So like I said, it's something I remember for forever, probably.
All right, before I let you go, your setup. I know you're in a hotel room, so I'm assuming you're just watching it on the screen, but if you are in either an apartment or even your home, what's your perfect setup for watching the Spartans now? What would you want it to be, or what is it if you're at least in more of your normal environment?
Perfect setup. I've never really been picky about that thing. You know what I'm saying? TV, nice size TV, music playing so I can listen to music while I watch the game and just kind of lock in and watch them do what they do, man. Hopefully they get better, but I see them playing hard. I see a lot of good things, and it only take a couple games to turn that around.
How often are you wearing green when you're watching Michigan State?
I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I don't really think about it that much. Like, yeah, every now and then might run into each other, but I wore a lot of green these last 4 years, so I kind of been trying to take a break from it. Today I got my green on. I try to take a little break from it. I'll get back around to it.
Well, Cassius, I really appreciate you taking some time. Stay safe. I hope everything goes well for you down in Orlando, the G League bubble, and I know you'll be back with the Wizards soon.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Have a good one.